There's this one phrase that changed everything for me. It helped me bring me back to my center, the most powerful knowing that I could have about myself. And every time I heard it from somebody or said it to myself, something shifted inside me. That phrase was, "You are in control." At first, it was just words, something that I took in but didn't actually properly believe in yet, something that was quite nice to think about, but I wasn't at that level of awareness of really embodying this into my reality. But the more that I sat with it, the more I realized that's it. That is the truth. That is the truth that I always keep forgetting, and that this is what I need to hear. Because when life feels heavy, confusing, or completely out of control, out of your hands to even fix, you start to feel powerless. You start to think you have no choice but to just watch all these events happening, unfolding all in front of you, you being pulled into certain situations that you never wanted to be a part of. But you always have a choice. Always, because you are in control. Not of everything that happens, but of what you do with it, of how you respond, of where your focus goes, of how long you stay in that feeling, of whether you let it defy you or just move through you. Because when we attach ourselves to certain experiences, instead of just letting them flow through us and out from behind us, we instead sometimes cling onto them and we drift off away with them, and we always stay in that state because we are now attached to those things, and we are emitting the same frequency and vibration that those things hold because we're keeping them so close. But the more we let them flow through us and then wave them goodbye into the distance, seeing them go away, seeing us becoming more and more free from those experiences. And once you realize that you are in control, you get to decide where you want your energy to go, everything changes. I have had moments where I felt completely out of control, overthinking everything, spiraling, letting my emotions completely take over, repeating stories in my head that did not serve me and I knew it, but still I was running with it because I felt like I didn't have a say. When, for example, one thought arrived, I was thinking, here we go again. I felt so trapped in my own life, and there was a moment where things completely shifted, and I realized that when I was going through something that would have really, really hurt me in the past, and I knew exactly how the past version of me would have reacted to this situation, but I realized I wasn't letting this situation affect me as much because I wasn't sitting in my bedroom crying over it for hours. I hadn't actually cried at all. And every time the idea of crying came into my mind, I was thinking, you know what, I'd rather not do that right now, because how is this actually going to serve me, being sorry for myself and just building and building on these negative emotions and letting them take that toll over my life. I'm perfectly happy the way that I am now, how my life is going. And you know what? They will come to the surface sometimes, these negative emotions. And it's okay if they do. It's okay if I feel them for a little bit of time. But the real mastery will show how much I let them defy me and how long I'm sticking inside those moments where I am letting them get to me, because it's only natural. We are bound to feel some negative emotions, but how long am I letting myself stay there? Because it is really my choice whether I want to feel these things or not feel these things. It is really my choice, the thoughts that I let into my own mind, and keep building on those thoughts. In moments where I have felt completely out of control, I would stop. I would take a deep breath and I'd remind myself, Vicky, you are in control. You don't have to go down that road again. You can pause here. You can choose something else. Even if you have never done this before, this is the best moment to try. And that is the part that we can often forget, that we can actually choose. We don't have to follow every single thought that pops into our minds. We don't have to believe every single feeling that we're feeling inside. We don't have to react just because something triggered us, just because we've done it in the past. we can just breathe and respond with complete awareness, and being that awareness that is aware that it's feeling those things, those emotions, those thoughts coming inside, just becoming completely aware. They are coming inside, but you're not identifying with them, because they come and they go. They are not all true. Some of them can be old habits. Some of them can be fears, stem from the past. Some of them aren't even yours. They were picked up from childhood, school, or society. But the moment you catch one out and say, no, I am not feeding that one today, I'm taking my power back right now. If you can really catch yourself doing these things to yourself, when you catch yourself having a negative thought, quickly start to replace it with another one. Just think, no, I don't want to feel this way. And I am taking my power back right now, because you can go. You don't have a place to stay here. You have tried to come in, but I'm more focused now. Because sometimes these thoughts and these feelings can come in subconsciously without us even realizing. They can go on for so long, and it seems like we're repeating the same cycle over and over again. And finally we realize, oh, I see what's going on now. Okay, I've been feeding into this for so long. This is why my life isn't going in the direction that I want it to go. And then I can just realize, wait, but I want it to go in this direction now, so I'm going to do just that. And you are in control of how you carry yourself. You don't need to impress anyone else. You don't need to pretend that you're okay, but to remind yourself that you can still choose how you show up even when you're not okay. You can still walk with purpose. You can still speak with clarity, and you can still take care of yourself even when things feel heavy. Because just because one area of your life feels heavy, it doesn't mean that suddenly you've lost everything that you've been building up for yourself for such a long time. It doesn't just all disappear like that. This is progress that you can't let go of, and that in itself is control. It's quiet, steady, and real. Maybe people don't realize that girl isn't okay, but they see the version of you who is so sure of themselves, and they still get inspired from that. Even when you were trying your hardest to just be okay, you have worked your wonders, and you are in control of your energy. That's where everything actually starts, not the external stuff going on, not the job, not the relationship, not the outcome, but the way that you hold your energy in the middle of it all. You can bring peace into a chaotic space. You can do that. You can calm yourself before reacting. You can hold space for yourself when no one else does. And none of that is about being perfect. It's just about choosing differently, choosing again, and choosing better for yourself, for your own energy, for the way that you emit your energy into the world and how others feel you. You are in control of your awareness. You are in control of the way that you observe your thoughts, of the way that you catch them before they can take you somewhere that you don't want to go. You might not be able to stop every single negative thought from coming in, but it all takes time, and you are in control of what you expand on what you work on. You are in control of whether that thought becomes your reality or if it just passes through. And that alone is a quiet kind of power. You are in control of your response. Things might happen that you didn't ask for. People might project things onto you. Old patterns might rise again, and that's your old frequency trying to pull you in to your old reality, because that is what's familiar and comfortable and within your comfort zone. Sometimes things without your comfort zone can feel scary, but no matter what happens on around you, you still get to decide who you're going to be within. You can pause, breathe, step back, choose how you move, how you speak, what you give your energy to. And even if you have made mistakes through your day, you can always go back home and realize them and say, tomorrow, that is what I'm going to work on, having more control and awareness in everything that I do, because sometimes I do go unconscious. Sometimes I can live with the idea that I am in control, but sometimes I let it slip by and I forget about it. And that in itself, that is control, that is presence, and that's where your power lives. Because you may not even be aware of the amount of control that you hold, But like I keep saying, you are in control of so much. You are in control of your focus. Where your energy goes, your life flows. You can spend the day worrying, or you can bring yourself back into the now. You can fixate on everything that is going wrong, or you can remind yourself of what is still good in your life. You can drown in the noise, or you can find peace in that silence. Find those answers that only appear to you when you're in that quiet space where the external is no longer affecting you and you are focusing on what is the most important, because the external always follows the internal. And that doesn't mean you can ignore what is difficult in your life. It means you stop giving it more power than it deserves and you start giving your power to other things. And you are also in control of your whole identity. At any moment, you can stop and ask yourself, who am I choosing to be right now? Is this version of me aligned with who I am becoming? Or am I still acting like the person I have already outgrown? Because you're not stuck because you have failed. You forgot that you are allowed to shift. You forgot some truths. You forgot that you can reset, that you can evolve, that you are in control of how you define yourself, and you can update that definition whenever you need to, because you choose who you turn up to the world as. No one can tell you who you are. You have been with yourself the longest out of anyone in your life. You only know yourself. So from what you know about yourself, go present that to the world, because you are in control of that. You are in control of your timeline. Maybe it is taking longer than you thought. Maybe it's looking nothing like what you expected it to be. But your worth isn't defined by how fast things come into your life. It's defined by how grounded you remain while you wait, by how you treat yourself through the whole process. You are in control of what you hold on to as well. There's no rule that says you have to keep carrying the same story. If it drains you, let it go. Because maybe the past version of you wants to hold on to it. Maybe the past version of you wants to hold on to that pain because it's familiar with it and it doesn't know how to live without that pain because it's carried on for so long now. But choose a different story. Choose a story that you know will serve you, because you are in control of your realizations. When you realize something is not healthy for you, you can choose a different outcome. Let yourself move differently, speak differently, live differently. You are allowed to do those things because you are in control. You're not bound to your past. You're in control of what you carry forward. Not the past version of you, the version of you now, living in the now, is in control of how you move forward. You are in control of the space you give yourself. You don't always need answers. Sometimes you just need the quiet, a moment to breathe, a moment to reconnect with yourself. You are in control of your standards, what you say yes to, and what you tolerate, what you say no to, what energy you allow into your life. You are allowed to change your boundaries. You are allowed to choose peace over proving yourself. You are allowed to walk away from anything that pulls you out of alignment. This is your life in your hands. No one dictates it but for you. You are in control. No explanation needed. No drama required. Just a quiet decision. I no longer accept this version of me. I'm ready to rise. You are in control of your emotional world. Feelings will come. That is normal. That is human. Everyone else is feeling the exact same things, no matter how healed they are, no matter how successful they are. Everyone has feelings, but you are in control of how long you stay in them, of what you attach to them. Whether you turn those feelings, those repeated feelings, into a belief, or you choose to believe in something else. Sadness doesn't mean that you are weak. Anger does not mean that you have failed and that you're a bad person. And doubt doesn't mean that you are lost. They are just visitors. You get to decide which ones stay. Like I said, you are in the middle. All these things are going on all around you, floating all around. Many experiences can find you. You can say hello and goodbye to any of the ones that come forward. If you let in the ones that don't serve you, then maybe it will prolong how much faster other events can come into your life, because if you really stay tethered to something for a very long time, you're actually blocking out any other experiences from coming into you. So if you just stay open and know that anything is possible, anything can come into your life, but the power is in your hands of what you do with those things. And you are also in control of your healing. No one else is going to save you. And that is not a scary thought. That is a very, very empowering thought, because the moment you stop waiting for someone else to fix it, you remember that you are the one with the tools. You've already proven that you can rebuild yourself many times. You've already come back from things you didn't think you would, and you're still here. That means you're in control now. You're not broken. You are becoming. You are in control of how deeply you come home to yourself. Not just when life is good, not just when things are flowing, but even in the hard moments, even when nothing makes sense, you can still come back to yourself, to your breath, to your truth, to your higher self, to your soul, to that quiet knowing inside you that says, I've got this. I don't need to rush. I don't need to fix everything right now in this moment. I just need to remember who I am, my full truth. And if you have forgotten lately, that is okay. This is your reminder that you are in control, even now, even here, especially here. You don't need to do it perfectly. You just need to keep coming back to this truth. You are in control of your thoughts, of your energy, of your responses, of your direction, of your becoming. No one can take that from you. And the moment that you fully claim it, everything starts to shift. Because there's something else most people don't realize. You are in control of your self-concept. You get to decide who you are becoming and how you see yourself. You get to decide if you keep telling the story of the version of you that always struggles, or if you're finally ready to step into the version of you who handles things differently now. Let's go even deeper into this. You are in control of what you consume. If you're constantly anxious, unfocused, and comparing yourself to others, look at your environment. Look at what you're feeding yourself. Look at your inputs. You are in control of what you let into your mind and your world, what you watch, what you listen to, who you follow, who you surround yourself with. Don't underestimate how powerful that is. Protect your peace like it is sacred, because it is. Be deliberate about the spaces that you enter. You do not owe access to anyone or anything that drains you. That is not rude, that's respecting your nervous system. And the more you do that, the more clearly you will think, and the more deeply you will remember that you are in control of the things that shape you. You are in control of your internal dialogue, and this one is the one that matters more than anything, because no matter how others see you, you still have to live with the way you speak to yourself. So stop tearing yourself down in your own mind. Stop talking to yourself like you're behind, broken, or failing, pointing things out that you're always constantly doing wrong. You're not. You are healing, evolving, and becoming, even in the moments that feel messy. It is good to have awareness and things that you want to work on, but if you are literally being your own bully, and that voice in your head, it can become your greatest ally, but only if you start treating yourself like someone who's already doing better than they were doing yesterday. You are in control of how you treat yourself. No one around you. That's the version of you that matters the most, because other people can tell you anything, but like I said, you're the only one who has been on this journey with yourself. You need to nurture yourself. You need to care for yourself. You need to really look up to yourself and everything that you've done. And I know it may not seem like a lot if you think about what you've maybe done the last week. Maybe it may seem like a lot of progress, but if you join everything together and maybe think about the past year, I mean, come on, a year ago you were a completely different person entirely. Look at the difference in your life now compared to a year ago. Start looking at the bigger picture and your whole life, your whole journey, everything you've been through, because every single version of you that has existed, that's all been you. And look at the way you've grown, look at the way you've evolved, and stop talking to yourself so negatively. And I hope this really touched your hearts today, because I just always want everyone to remember that they are truly in control.